Yo, welcome to Music is a Day Job. I'm your host, Sean. Music is a Day Job is brought to you by the Qoncert app. The Qoncert app is an artist accelerator app that takes artists from opener to headliner to on tour and gives the fan the best experience in independent live music. And now today, what I'm going to talk about is one of the things I think is one of the biggest traps for artists, because we get, I guess you can kind of say, like, we find comfort in just the making of the music. So I came up with a saying, and I was just like, I said it to someone. I was like, I'd rather have one song and 100 fans than 100 songs and one fan. And to me, that's one of the realest statements that I guess I put around my career. Now, to others, you could feel some different way, but I'm gonna tell you why I feel this way. I watch a lot of artists get very content with just making the music, and then they have like these catalogs of like tons and tons of songs, and a catalog is only, you know what I'm saying, like it's only worth what it's worth to like the consumer. So if you don't have consumers purchasing it, then it's just a catalog of tons of music. And I watch it happen to tons of artists. They just keep making songs and songs and albums and albums. Like I know dudes is dropping like 2 albums a year, and it's like, and that didn't even count the mixtapes and everything like that. It's like, if no one's really listening to it, then you need to figure out how to lower that amount and find out the one thing that people are listening to. Like, I can't say I'm right for this, but it made me a lot of money. And like, I only had one album. Like me and my group, we only had one real album. We have a decent amount of songs over a span of time, but if you were to compare us to like a lot of artists, we don't really have to have been doing music for 15 years. The amount of music that's out between our group that is like both of us, or even like when there was 3 of us, it's not really that much music. And it's not nothing that I can say like, oh, I'm super, like I'm proud of, but I made the best out of the amount of music that I did create. So I always tell artists like, well, like they can be like, hey man, I got like all these songs and but how many fans do you have? Like how many people want to hear it? It's like music is like very similar to like stock in a store, like back stock and stuff like that, like product. If the product isn't moving, why are you keep stacking more product in the back? And I hate to say it that way because that sounds pretty harsh, but if the product isn't moving, then you either have to change what that product is to make people want to purchase that product, or you have to figure out which one of that product is the best to push the most. And so I've never been really crazy about just constantly making music just to make music. I've always made music to try to figure out like, okay, well, this is what I feel and this is what I want to say. How does this connect to the fan base that I have or the people that I want it to connect to? And then how from there can I make the most out of that? You see what I'm saying? So I think people get caught up in the like feeling content with, man, well, I just got tons of music. I got music on music on music. But then it's like, I got a catalog, but they're taking like pieces of industry lingo and they're making it seem like, yo, like that's what you're supposed to say. Like, man, I got a catalog. Like I got a catalog means I have a catalog worth something, and I already have consumers, and they're going to, they want it so much that I can get publishing from it, or I can sell it, or whatever I need to do. That's what the whole catalog lingo is about. Having a catalog just to have a catalog doesn't like really like, it isn't worth much if you don't have the consumer. And this is why I tell artists, like, finding consumers is the hardest part, and that's the part that I find people like back away from, is because they get into this situation where they just believe like having the catalog is the thing. And I get that the internet allows you to get like streams and stuff like that, and people always say like, man, just make tons of content, just make tons of, yes, but if it's not doing anything and it's not making any money, we have to change that idea. Now, if you're putting out content and you're finding you're a consumer and you're finding the people who want to come see you perform and stuff like that, then great, keep putting it out. Like, because that might be the rate that connects with your fans. But then if you're telling me like, yo, I got all these songs, but then you don't have one fan or two fans, then it's like, well, who's listening to this? And that's the piece of this that I feel like artists really have to focus on. So when I say like, hey, I'd rather have one song and 100 fans than 100 songs and one fan. Because if I have 100 fans and I have that one song, I can at least, people try to always clown like a one-hit wonder. They got a hit though. And they had a chance of making money. And then they had a chance of feeding their family off that one hit though. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not like anything to even clown about. Like, it's not even like a joke really, like, because it's like, oh, you're comparing them to the 0.001% of people who have tons of hits. And they at least got one, and they've been able to do shows and do tours and constantly perform it all the time, which that's all you can really ask for, is to be able to be in a space where people want to hear it, want to see it, want to listen to it all the time. So it's like, that's almost like, I don't even get why people joke about stuff like that, because it's like, it's not a real such thing as a one-hit wonder. You know, it's like, great job of getting to that point. That's like a person that won one championship. No one says like a team that won one championship like, oh man, it ain't the Bulls, they ain't win 6. Like, people don't make fun of that. People go like, oh, well, they won a championship. You know, like, they won one. Like, that's great, you know? So it's like, you just have to, like, I feel like us as artists, we have to be in a space where we understand who the consumer is, and we use what we have to really push towards making a living off of this. You know, like, let me see, when I used to have, like, for instance, like, for a long time, when I first dropped a song, I had the song and I pushed it, like, I had a music video to it, and I pushed it probably like 3 years, and I'm just pushing this song, but it's getting me shows and getting me everything. You know what I'm saying? So then I even had a sponsor that was all the way in Australia at the time. And I'm like, they're making hats that said the title of the song on it because it matched with this thing that they were doing too. And it's just like, I just kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it till I could, like, get all the, like, squeeze all the juice out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like one of those things that it's like, if you have it and it's working, why are you changing it? People don't hear it enough. You know what I'm saying? So you have a better chance with that, like having one song and 100 fans, than you do if you have 100 songs and one fan. You have a way better chance, because the person with that one song, as I tell you, can constantly squeeze it, can constantly figure it out. So I get, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people actually get mad at me. I'll say, like, the people who have been like fans of my group for a long time, when like, I will perform the same set. Like, I still perform stuff from like, I can front. I still perform stuff that's from a set that's we started that set probably in 2006. No, 16. 2016, 2017. And we did that set, and we still do parts of that set. I think as I always say, I'm coming out of retirement, even though I just be coming out all the time and going outside. I'm going outside again soon, and I'm gonna add 4 more songs, but there's still going to be 4 or 5 songs that are probably from 2016. Because the people rock with them, they want to hear them, they want to vibe to them, they everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you like. But I have a good bit of fans. You see what I'm saying? So then I have a good bit of fans, so then I can do those same songs, you know what I'm saying? But definitely don't get trapped in the 100 songs in one fan, because then the hard part is finding the fans now. And then you're stuck in a world where you have 100 songs and you have all these choices to choose between, and you're just shooting at the wall, because then you have to find who connects to what, and then you have to find, is that what you enjoy making? Then you have to find, all those people that actually, once you find who connects to it, then you got to find if you can multiply that and make that work consistently. Are you that person that's believable in that statement of what type of music you're making? So I feel like we put ourselves at the disadvantage because we just go like, well, we're just making tons of songs, and it feels good to say that. And I think a lot of it has to do with, like, I know on the rap side, a lot of it had to do with, like, I guess you could say like the Lil Waynes and 50 Cents, when they first came out, they were like making a lot of music. But then when you're at that, like the demand of these people, then it's like, it makes sense that you constantly put out music because the demand is there. If the demand isn't there for you, then you have to figure out who these people are, who these people that like you. And I just tell artists, like, some people can like you for you and then start liking the music. Give yourself a better chance. You know what I'm saying? Versus like this vast array of music, and it's just like, because you can be sitting on a catalog and not worth anything, as I said before. So definitely, this time I want to ask tons of people, the people who watch my channel, I want to ask you to leave in the comments things that you might want to hear, like some topics that you might want to hear. So in the comments, put topics that you might want to hear. Also, as I always say, Qoncert is in multiple states, multiple cities all over right now. So if we're in your city and you get on the app, get on the app, get on the app, get on the app. If you get on the app and you see we're in your city, make sure you jump on one of the shows, start building your career there. If we're not in your city, definitely tell everybody to get on the app in your city, so we can start putting on shows out there, and we have that demand so we can come out there. If you know any venues, anybody, if you know any venues, even in cities we're already in, let me know, because then it makes it easier for us to put on more shows in those areas and keep it moving. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. You already know. And tell everyone just to get on the Qoncert app. That's what this is. Get on the Qoncert app. Start building your career. This is Music as a Day Job. I'm your host, Sean. It's brought to you by the Qoncert app.